Good blessed Sunday evening, April the 25th, 2021. It's about 6:17 p.m. I greet everybody with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. But anyway, my youngest child, Birdie, like to say something, y'all. Say it loud, baby.
First, I want to say,
move your hands off of it.
First, I want to say, hey, and I hope everybody is having a good, blessed day. And I just want to say justice for my brother Bryan, Lamar Johns, and stop the black on black crime, stop the Spanish on Spanish crime, and make sure y'all stay safe out here.
All right. Let me come over here now and say a few things here. Again, I'm going to say like my youngest child, which all of my other children, Bryan was my oldest child, but my next oldest child, Jennifer, and my next one, Queen, Bryan's daughter, Melissa, Bryan grandson, Melissa, which is my granddaughter, Bryan grandson, Nathan, which is my great-grandson, Bryan's daughter and grandson's mother, Alma, and Bryan's sisters, Kanithia, Sarita.
Kanisha.
Huh?
He said Kanisha.
I mean,
Kanisha.
Kanisha. Get me right, baby. His youngest sister on his mother's side, Kanisha. His other sister, Sarita. His brother, Dwight. His brother, Lance. And his mother, Marilyn. His cousin, Tish. And all his other relatives. And all of my other family and friends. You know, and some of my supporters. We all say justice for my son, Bryan Lamar Johns. Because the manner they said he died, we just don't see it being suicide. And what I want to say also, y'all, is like my daughter, hey now, like my daughter said, stop the violence. Especially stop the violence, period, worldwide. But stop the black on black violence, stop the Spanish on Spanish violence. And those of you all out there that just chose to, you know, it's different than people being in a gang. I know people that's in a gang that don't be out there gang banging. They secure their communities. You see what I'm saying? But you have people that's out there gang banging and doing drive-by shootings, and then they ride with their children in the car, and their children end up getting killed, and they end up getting shot, not critically wounded, and then they get out in front of the news media saying that they want justice for their child. But yet, they out there shooting at other people, which I don't see it justify killing somebody's child. Me, myself, if somebody made me that angry and done shot at me, if I'm gonna get him, whether he's in a drive-through or whatever, if it's anybody else that in that car that didn't have nothing to do with it, that's if I was gonna do it. You can believe the child wouldn't have got harmed. Because if he in that drive-through, he clocked up in there. He can't get out. And I just go right by that window. That child ain't gonna get hurt because that child ain't had nothing to do with it. But when these individuals out here, whether they males or females, when they out here shooting at other people, and then they have their children in there and their children get shot or killed, they should be charged with a murder too, or whatever happens to that child. You see, you got to start investigating sometime, even when the police shootings. If we gonna march when the white police shoot a black or a Spanish, let's march when a black kill a black or a Spanish kill a Spanish person. It's only right. You see, some of these individuals out here that y'all think is activists, they're actors. You see what I'm saying? Because if they'll march when the police is pursuing somebody and shooting, I see they didn't march when the police was pursuing this 18-year-old on 290, on Interstate 290, which is the Eisenhower in the Chicago area that leads to the southwest suburbs. I see when the police pursued him and end up shooting him. It wasn't no march. Shouldn't have been a march. Just like when these individuals out here doing these drive-bys and then have their children, I don't care if they in drive-thrus or whatever, and their children get shot, we should protest against them too. You see what I'm saying? Because they just as much as fault is the person that did the shooting. You see, I ain't gonna go do no drive-by and have my kids in the car with me. You follow what I'm saying? And if I was going to do something to somebody, which the only time I would take somebody's life or harm somebody, if somebody trying to harm me at that particular time. You see what I'm saying? I pray to God that I can just keep the peace that I got. But one thing about me, I'm a real activist. Even though I'm still seeking justice and seeking the truth about my son's death, but at the same time, I can comfort my daughters, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and my sons, other sisters and brothers and their mother, and at the same time, I can speak up with the injustices that's happening in these legal systems, with some of the police, some of the law enforcement officials. We got to admit, some of these law enforcement officials is perpetrating the same thing some of these other individuals out here doing. I'm going to leave it with this here, y'all. Y'all pray for me, I'm going to pray for y'all. But know who's running your police force. Know what judges is on these benches, y'all. Know who is your preacher. You see what I'm saying? Some of these individuals, all they want is your tithes and offerings. You see what I'm saying? But have some struggle trying to bury your child and see how many gonna come up. When you want somebody to stop talking to you, all you got to do is just show that you in need of some help. And I'm gonna tell y'all, when I get back up to Chicago, probably this coming week, I'm gonna protest at some of these cemeteries, like Restville Cemetery at 116th in Laramie. That's 5200 West, out in Espen, Illinois. That's where my mother and my brother, my oldest brother, and my brother-in-law is buried. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what it costed back then. I think my brother was buried out there in 1977. My mother was buried out there in 1989. And my brother-in-law was buried out there in 1997. But now today, I was going to get my son buried out there. Do you know, during the weekdays, just the burial, nothing to do with the funeral, just to put him in the hole, $58 plus $100 during the week. The weekend, $6 something. A female friend of mine, I went up there with her last October, I believe, to bury her mother, and she's in Restville, and she had to pay over $7,000 just to put in the hole. I'm going to be protesting that, y'all, so cemeteries, y'all get ready. Y'all get ready for me, boy. Look here, I almost pulled out there. Let me see, I see him. Turn around. Go get her. Hurry up, get her. Get her. Oh, she ain't going to get it. One of my daughters just came around the corner. Look here, I ain't almost did nothing. But I'm going to just say peace, be still.